Hey everyone, imagine this for a second. You're turning 79 years old. You've sold over 300 million records. You're one of the most iconic musicians to ever live. And then, the man who once played you in a blockbuster movie walks into your birthday lunch as a surprise. That's exactly what just happened to Sir Elton John. And honestly, the moment he shared, pure magic. Elton posted a photo that instantly caught everyone's attention. He called it Rocketman Squared. Sitting there beside him was Taron Egerton, the actor who brought Elton's life to the big screen in Rocketman. Not on a red carpet, not at an event, just two people sharing a quiet personal birthday moment. If you grew up with Elton's music, this hits differently. Let's set the scene. March 25th, 2026. Elton John celebrates his 79th birthday. A career that spans decades, still loved, still relevant, still surrounded by family, including his husband David Furnish, who's been by his side through it all. But this year, something special happened. Taron Egerton showed up for a private birthday lunch, a surprise that clearly meant a lot. Elton shared it himself, thanking David for making the day so memorable and calling the moment Rocketman Squared. And you can feel the emotion in that. Because this isn't just a celebrity meeting another celebrity. This is something deeper. A connection that started years ago and never really faded. When Taron Egerton took on the role of Elton John in 2019, a lot of people had doubts. Let's be honest. Stepping into the shoes of someone like Elton is no small thing. The voice, the energy, the personality. It's almost impossible to replicate. But Taron didn't just act the role. He lived it. He sang every note himself. He captured Elton's vulnerability, his wild energy, his struggles and his triumphs. And when audiences walked out of that film, many of them felt like they had just experienced Elton's life all over again. Even Elton himself said Taron captured his spirit perfectly. And now, 7 years later, seeing them together again like this, it feels like the story never really ended. Now think back for a moment. Your song in 1970, that simple piano, those honest lyrics. Maybe you heard it for the first time on the radio, sitting in your room, or driving somewhere with someone you loved. Then Rocketman in 1972, that feeling of escape, that sense that life could be bigger than what you see around you. Tiny Dancer, Crocodile Rock, Benny and the Jets. These weren't just songs, they were moments. They were road trips, weddings, late nights, heartbreaks, and fresh starts. They were the soundtrack to entire chapters of life, and then decades later, Rocketman brought it all back. A lot of us walked into that movie wondering if it could really do justice to someone like Elton John. And many walked out emotional, surprised by how real it felt. Taron didn't just remind us of Elton, he reminded us of ourselves during those years. And that's why this birthday reunion feels so powerful, because it connects everything. The past, the music, the memories, and the present moment. At 79, Elton John is still here, still smiling, still surrounded by love. After everything he's been through, from personal struggles to health challenges, moments like this feel earned, and there's something comforting about that. It reminds us that the people who shaped our lives through music are still part of our story, still creating new memories, still showing up. What makes this even more special is how simple it is. No big stage, no flashing lights, just a lunch, a surprise. A genuine connection between two people who shared something meaningful. That's rare, and that's why it resonates. If you've ever listened to Elton John on a long drive, if you've ever had one of his songs tied to a moment in your life, you probably felt something seeing that photo. So I want to ask you something. What's your Elton John memory? Was it hearing "Don't Let the Sun Go Down on Me" for the first time? Dancing to "Saturday Night's All Right for Fighting"? Or watching Rocketman and realizing how much of his story you already knew? Drop it in the comments. I'd love to hear it. Because these stories, these moments, they connect all of us, and they remind us why legends like Elton John never really fade. They just keep evolving. So here's to Elton John and Taron Egerton, Rocketman Squared. A simple moment, but one that means a lot more than it seems. If this brought back a memory for you, go ahead and like this video, share it with someone who still has Elton on their playlist. And follow Xplained daily for more stories that keep these legendary moments alive. Thanks for watching, stay legendary, and I'll see you in the next one.